You're listening to It Came From the Radio. This is Dr. Feldy, Jennifer Lee Feldman. I'm here with a very talented guy, David Seth Cohen. He's a producer, director, editor, writer, magical creator. He creates things from really serious content, which is how we met. I actually acted for him in a commercial playing my least favorite role, a mom. I don't like playing a serious mom at all. It's so boring, and I don't want to say the wrong thing, and then I get scared. But we also did headshots together, and he has something really cool that he did a long time ago called Finding Sandler, we're going to talk about, which is highly comedic and quirky and silly and wild and even like TMZ type of aspects and celebrities and totally different than your humdrum, boring headshots. No offense. Headshots are pretty boring. So here he is, David Seth Cohen. What's going on?
Hey Jen, thanks for having me.
Thank you. So I'm glad we met. I guess I applied to be an actress in a commercial. I don't
Yeah,
even know. Yes,
you
I applied
auditioned.
for it. I auditioned. Oh yes,
Yes,
I sent an audition, and it
yes,
was a commercial for an autism company.
correct.
My stepbrother is autistic, so I actually wrote a script about my stepbrother, and it was helped out by his mother, who's the mother of an autistic son who lives in my childhood bedroom. Yes, that's how we met. Holy
Yes,
schmoly.
and you were really good. The client actually chose you out of a whole bunch of people that
Oh,
we had auditioned, and yeah, you were great. You were great, and it was a lot of fun to work with you. And if I remember correctly, when we had some downtime while
yeah.
we were setting up, you had told me that you were in production as well, that you do
Mhm.
hair and makeup and
Right.
special effects makeup and all sorts
Oh,
of stuff.
yes.
And I was like, oh, maybe we could connect on some other projects and I could bring you on. And you're like, yeah, that'd be awesome. And so fast forward, we started
Ah,
collaborating.
right. Right. See, my most recent memory is like when I think of you, I'll think of, you're Finding Sandler's cool. We'll get to that. And the ferry, we did a lot of productions for the Long
Long
Island
Island ferries,
Ferry and also the Long Island the Lighthouse,
Adventureland, and
Adventureland,
the
all
Lighthouse,
these
the Huntington
things.
Lighthouse.
Yes, all these things where I'm not a morning person and I got myself somehow together in a stupor and tried not to sweat and try not to have BO while we're running around ferries and on boats
Yeah,
and splashed on and climbing up lighthouses with no bathrooms and
yeah.
producing very professional commercial and narrative content. So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about this. I forgot about this.
Oh, well, that was for Discover Long Island.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's a part of a YouTube series that
Hmm.
they have going on called You Belong. And
Right.
yeah, so coincidentally, I ended up getting that gig because of Finding Sandler, the documentary. My film played at the Long Beach International Film Festival in Long Beach.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
because I was a born and raised Long Islander
Yes.
and had ties to the festival through just being on in the Long Beach area for so many years and showing up at the festival. And um, they had actually, their PR person called me and asked me to be part of their, media day.
Right.
So I went and I show up early. You know how I am. I show up early at places.
Yes. Oh my
So,
God.
so I showed up early, and there was someone there that told me she was from Discover Long Island, and we just got to talking, and she's like, "Oh, uh, what are you here for?" And I explained my film and what I do, corporate videos and stuff like that. And she was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, the next time we have some stuff, I'll reach out." And
Yeah.
usually you get people that say that, and then it never happens, like they never reach out. But a year
Mhm.
later, they reached out, and that's how that whole thing came to play.
That was really cool. I learned a lot from that. I had a great experience. It was fun. It wasn't too difficult. And well, not for me. For you, you had a lot of work to do. These are kind of intense, they're very high level production videos. Like for anyone listening, this guy David Seth Cohen does very quality work. If you want something to look like top notch, I used to teach work classes for Equinox and New York sports clubs and different tiers. Equinox is like almost at your top. I would say David Seth Cohen commercial production is like your Equinox level. So if you
Well,
want
thank
that,
you.
you hire this guy. You want something that's a little more janky and crazy, you hire me by myself without him. You're not
That's
going to
funny.
give me something that's wild. Even my video's a little blurry right now because I
Yeah.
don't care. I care about the content and
Yeah.
making jokes and saying random stuff.
Hey,
But
it
yeah,
works. It works, but like for me, it's a matter of the quality of the video
yes,
itself as well
yes,
as the content. And that was one thing that I
yes.
really liked about those videos that we collaborated on was not only did they look awesome, but the
Hmm.
what was said and the way we kind of portrayed it in doc style was
Right,
fantastic. And
right.
everybody that sees those videos gives me high compliments on them. I've never had like somebody say, "Oh, those videos suck." Everyone's like, "Oh, those are
No,
really high-end videos." And they've helped bring in other business. So it's a great
nice.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
You made one of my childhood dreams come true. So I'm so glad that I did this commercial for you and stretched myself to play a mom. What a difficult role for me. It's the worst. This is like asking someone else to fall down the stairs. Falling down the stairs, I did my own stunts is easy. Playing a mom is difficult. But we shot at Adventureland. So
That was
side
cool.
note, don't eat two bagels at like 1 in the morning and then try to shoot at 6 in the morning because I was dead asleep and in so much pain and I couldn't really enjoy it. But man, we were at Adventureland at 6:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
before the whole
Before
park
it opened.
opened.
Yeah. Yeah. That was cool.
Adventureland,
And you
it's
didn't
not,
know
it's
this.
amazing.
You didn't know this stuff, Jen, but like I only had they were giving us about an hour and a half max for setup
Uh-huh.
and interviews, the two people in
Yeah.
that room because we had to be out of there before they opened because that's
Yes,
when the
yes.
flood would come in of people.
Well, that I knew.
Yeah. So it was
I was
a
hustling.
it was like time pressure, but we pulled it off and everybody was happy. So that was great. Yeah.
When we
And
worked
I'm glad
together,
I
I
got to
always
make
wear
your dream come
sneakers.
true.
Oh yeah, it was definitely one of my dreams. It was so cool. And one of the things we did was, everyone gets into the park. They basically opened the floodgates and all these kids started running in and their smiles, they didn't have to act at all. They were just
Yeah.
so excited to be there, just like I was, because I used to go maybe even once a week as a kid. The haunted house is still there, and these kids were so excited. And we got to open the doors and capture that. That was so
Yes.
cool.
And you made the video, by the way, Jen.
Oh yeah, I'm in it. I forgot. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So anyway, your commercial production is great. We know that. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Now you also have Finding Sandler, which is really up my alley because the whole reason I got into anything video production, believe it or not, was teaching workout classes, which I fell into by accident, and comedy. My parents are the funniest people I still know to the day. They're everything they do, even dentistry. My dad's telling jokes, with his hands in people's mouths. He
He's
has
the
an
funny
audience all
dentist.
yeah, my mom's one of my favorite people to write comedy with. It's all about comedy, comedy. So you have something called Finding Sandler. I've watched the trailer, I'd say at least 6 times, since we got acquainted. So just tell us what the heck is Finding Sandler?
So, in 1998, when I graduated college, I worked on the movie Big Daddy. And the night of the premiere for The Waterboy, he wanted to wear clothing. Adam Sandler wanted to wear clothing from the set. And I happened to work for the costume designer, which is pretty funny because I'm colorblind, but
Yeah,
that's for another conversation.
right.
She asked me to deliver these clothes to Sandler's apartment. There was a woman named Autumn who was another PA in my department, and I had to drive her home, and then I had to bring the car back to the office and just go home for the night. So I went to Sandler's building. It was in the middle of Manhattan, and I double parked and I told Autumn I'll be right back because I was
Oh boy.
instructed just to give the clothes to the doorman and then, be on my way. I go
Hmm.
into the building, I give the doorman the clothes, and he gives them back to me. And he goes, just bring them up to Adam. So
Okay.
I go up to his floor. He's on like the 40 something floor of the building, super high building. I get to the floor, I walk down the hall, I knock on the door, and from behind the door, I hear, "Who is it? What do you want?" He started yelling at me like he yells in his movies
Oh
as like
yeah.
a joke. And I was like, "Oh, it's Dave. I'm just a PA here to deliver your clothes for the premiere." And he opened his door and he had this big smile on his face and he goes, "Hey man, you want to come in and hang out and have a drink?" And I froze because like thoughts going through my head. It was like an angel devil kind of thing. Like the angel's like, you know, you got Autumn in the car, you can't stay. And the devil's like, dude, stay. He's like your hero. You got to stay and hang out and you never
Right.
know. And I ended up following the angel path and told him, look, I can't. I got Autumn in the car. I got to get going. And I gave him the clothes and I left. And I never had the chance to hang out with again. So fast forward to 2006, I turned 30. I'm living in my grandmother's basement apartment. I'm living
Ah,
with a girlfriend of mine at the time and two dogs, my two dogs. And I'm a producer at a Catholic TV station, and I'm Jewish.
right,
Not really where I thought I'd be in my life at age 30.
right,
And then
right.
I would have these nights where I would toss and turn in bed thinking like, what if I stayed and hung out with Adam Sandler? Would he have given me some
Um,
advice? Would something he said potentially have changed my trajectory?
right.
And I had a dream one night in bed. And in my dream, I went to California looking for him. I somehow found him in this dream, and we started walking and talking, and then I abruptly woke up. And
Ah,
when I woke up, I was like, this has to be a sign, whatever. And I had a
yeah.
small production company at the time while I was at the TV station. And so I called my business partner and I told him, it was like 6 a.m. I'm like, hey, Dan, I had this dream and I want to try and find Adam Sandler and have the drink I passed up in 1998. And he goes, hey, 6 a.m., can we talk about this later? I was like, okay. And I went in, like, I went into the TV station. I told a couple people, like, hey, I had this dream. I want to make this movie called Finding Sandler. And a bunch of people offered to help me. And then we just started making it. And that was it. That's how it happened.
So you still haven't had that drink with Sandler, right? I mean, I know that, but no, right?
I have not had the drink with Adam Sandler yet. No.
Any plans? Like, it's 2026 now.
I
What's
know
gonna
it's
happen?
20 years later. And I have not released the film yet either. I've been kind of holding
Right.
off to like say maybe he'll come around or maybe somebody that I know that
Yeah.
knows him will help me facilitate this
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Okay.
But I've actually made the decision in my mind that if it doesn't happen this year, I'm releasing the film and that'll be that.
Oh,
The
so
question is
this year,
where and how and all that, but
this year,
yes, this year,
do you want,
2026.
ideally, in
20 year
your heart of
anniversary, Jen,
hearts,
20-year anniversary. And I just turned 50. So
let's say, I could play God, or let's say someone could make things happen. What's your ideal outcome? Do you want to just release the movie, or you want to meet him this year? Like, what are we doing?
have the drink, then release the film.
All right, everybody listening, put David Seth Cohen in touch with Adam Sandler
It
and have this drink. And it doesn't have to be alcohol. It could be kombucha
could
or
be water.
green juice. It could be water.
I'm all about water. I barely drink any alcohol anyway, so I'm all for water. Whatever. Truth be told, even
Okay.
if he'd rather have a joint or something, I'm in for that too. Whatever it is, I'm
My
in.
man, that's what I'm talking about. My man, I love the greens. This is Green Day over here. Green
Whatever
Day.
it is, I'm in. I'm in.
All right, so now you have a future project, which we'll see if I'm a good enough actress to make the cut. I might be starring in this. We'll find out tomorrow. But maybe not, and that's okay because you should pick the person who's best for the job. I've even said this to an ex-boyfriend. I told him, go find whatever, and he came back to me, and it's fine. He came back to me on Valentine's Day, and he said, she wasn't you, and he came back. But I think it's best, you let people do whatever they're gonna do, and if you're the best person, that's what happens. So now, tell us a little bit about what's coming up in the future, the things you're working on.
Well, what you're talking about is a potential short film that
Yes.
that I'm going to do for fun. I haven't
Right.
I haven't done like a narrative film project in a while, and I've been having
Mhm.
this itch. And I met
Right.
this writer, and not only is he a really nice guy, but he's talented, and he wrote this script, and I really like it. And we're just trying to finalize, how it ends at this point. And I'm going to
Hmm.
share that with you, either later today or tomorrow at the latest.
Yeah.
And so, just that short film. And then I've got a couple other projects that are in development. This animated action comedy series for adults called Code of the Samurai.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
think like Deadpool meets a samurai kind of deal. So
Very cool.
it's a really great project. I didn't write it. It was written by my partner on the project, and it's I think it's got a lot of potential. And yeah, so I'm looking to get that off the ground this year. And
Yes.
then I'm also in talks to potentially do a biopic
Uh-huh.
about a famous golfer. So
Wow.
I don't want to say who it is yet. I'm working
Yeah.
on getting the life rights together, and once I have that, I can talk a little more about that. And then I'm also collaborating on another like a romantic comedy script with somebody, and I have a couple other projects that are kind of on the shelf right now that I'm looking to start pushing again. So this year is
That's
going to be a
great.
little more of a push for the film and television projects
Yeah.
than I've done over the last few years, which have mainly focused on, corporate videos, commercials, event video and photography, and also corporate photography. So
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that because not that I'm like the god of comedy or whatever, but I'm obsessed with comedy. I think you have a great eye for it and you understand and appreciate that quirky comedic way of being. But you also, like me, I can be very serious and I can come off even uptight. And some people have even said to me they didn't even know I had a sense of humor because I can, dull that out and be just like a freaking computer. And that's how you kind of have to be when you're doing commercial work.
yeah.
It can be a little soul sucking, but I know
But
you have something
we
about.
have fun on our sets though.
Oh
We've
no, we have fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, the craziness that goes on in a
Right, on a
comedy or
film set, it's a
horror.
lot different.
I mean,
Right.
I'm throwing stuff across the room. I'm breaking stuff. It's
Right.
wild. It gets
Yeah, yeah.
really crazy and dirty and inappropriate for the radio. And you can't really do that on a commercial set for a client. You
Right.
don't do that. You don't do that. And I will say David is also very observant because before we started, I was hoping he
The
would
double
say something on the
glasses.
radio. Yeah, he notices little nuanced things right away. And he's like, "You got double glass." I was like, "Oh, you called it out before we even hit record." Yeah, I
And
wanted to
what's in
see if
your
he would
hand? Is that
notice.
like a bracelet of sorts? What is that?
Oh yes, I don't know. Someone gave me this bracelet, and
Oh.
I don't know, whatever. It has nothing to do with anything. But you also, do you have anything about like tennis? Can we talk about
Oh
anything?
yeah. So the ball boy, the tennis comedy. Yeah. Did you read
Yeah,
that script yet? I sent it to you a
I
while
read
ago.
a few pages, and I recommend you an actor that I thought would be great. But I don't want to leak too much stuff. But from what I read, I was like, dude, this guy knows comedy. He's got to make this. Like, I loved what I read, and I got to finish reading it.
We had raised $2.5 million for that script back in 2019, right before the pandemic.
Do it.
The problem was that we had 6 months to match the money, and we weren't able to match it in the 6 months time that the investor gave us, and we weren't allowed to use any of the money to lock anything in either. It had to sit in the account until we matched the money. So it was kind of like it was great to have the funds in the account, but without being able to use them, we weren't really able to take it to the next level, and it got a little tough. And
Yeah.
I was going through a little life change at that point. I had gotten out of a
Mhm.
long relationship and sold my house and moved into
Oh
Manhattan.
wow.
So I was
Wow.
kind of it was a different world for me back then than it is
Yeah.
today.
Wow.
And so we'll see. Yeah, I'd love to get that project back off the ground if
Please.
it's a really funny tennis comedy, The Ball Boy. Yeah.
You said it's a little like Caddyshack. Is that okay? Did I said
Yeah, it's
that?
like it was called by a company that read it, National
Yes.
Lampoons. They
Yes.
called it like a
Yes.
Caddyshack of tennis kind of thing when they originally
Yes.
read it. So yeah, it's that kind of comedy.
I
Um,
love it.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a fun
out
project.
of everything to me, I played tennis since I was 6. My dad plays like 3 to 5 hours of tennis, every day on the weekends. He's tennis obsessed. I used to be tennis obsessed, Caddyshack obsessed. I even used to see my life in terms of Caddyshack. I worked at a rehab center
Funny.
and I had a boss. I was like Lacey and Chevy Chase in The Rebellious. Like this boss was always pissed off at me and he's like, wear khakis. And I even I even did physical therapy with a guy who acted like the judge. So there are these uptight people, So yeah, tennis can
Maybe Dr. Feldy wants to help finance it.
yo, I will do whatever I can. If I believe in a project, I get a little fanatical about it, which I think is a
It's a
key
fun
to
project. It would
creative.
be a
Yeah,
lot of fun to shoot that for sure.
yeah,
I mean, there's a
yeah.
lot of like ridiculousness in there.
I love it. And
Yeah.
there's like some, sexiness, the guy's like, attractive and you have sports and you have playfulness and jokes and sometimes things can just be ugly and gross and funny, but I feel like you could also get some type of beauty and sexiness in there with the characters,
There
which I
is.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's got a little bit of everything in it. It's
Well,
got
let's make it
heart,
happen.
it's got comedy, slapsticky and not slapsticky, and
Mhm.
it's a fun project. Maybe too many jokes about DICK, but we'll see.
Ah, we'll see. I'll read the
The
rest of the
main
script and
character's
we'll
name
see.
is Randy Balzac. So
That's great. Well, on that note, we are over time as usual. Sorry, Mark Torres. I'm probably like 5 minutes over time here. But just give us your final thought real quick and tell us where we can find you, website, social media.
Best way to find me, my website's davidsethcohen.com. If anybody has any, projects, corporate work, or films, they need a director, producer, editor, whatever, they can reach out. There's a contact form on my site. Feel free to reach out. My Instagram's David Seth Cohen. My Facebook's David Seth Cohen. My Twitter's David Seth Cohen 1, although I don't go on it much. And then
Mm-hmm.
I think TikTok is also as real David Seth Cohen. So
All right.
that's it.
DSC. I think you're the third person that I work with in production that is DSC.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, I have like three DSCs now. Anyway, we're done with the interview. So now back to the studio with more. It came from the radio. Ah,
Great. Thanks,
recording.
Jen.